Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 14 want to present our topic, which is interview preparations. So we go to the introductions. Okay, introduction. First, we want to know the interview. Interview is a conversation which occurs between the potential employer and the job candidate. The purpose of the interview is to show the employer what the candidate can do, and it gives you opportunity to assess whether your quality and qualification align with the positions. And as the candidate, it is important to do a several preparation before you start to attend the interview. Okay, next point will be present by Husna.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zunnur Husna Binti Othman. I will tell you about preparation of the interview and type of the interview. For preparation of the interview, there are three sections. First is before the interview. You have to know what have to offer. This is based from experience, self-aware, and communication skill. Research about the background of the company. For example, their website, organization, social profile, and their job. Practice the interview until you comfortable with it. Dress professionally by dress code given by the company. Arrival is you must arrive a little early to the location of the interview to make any preparation before the interview. Second section is during the interview. You have to show a positive body language and eye contact. Be prepared for the question will be asked by the interviewer. Avoid talking about personal problem. Just answer the question that will be asked. Avoid using buzzword or jargon. Ask question at the end. You can ask the question at the end the interview if to show any interest about the company or job. The third section is after the interview. You must thank the interviewer before leaving. Do not give up even though you know the job is not suitable with you. Just do your best. Okay, type of the interview. There are first is individual interview, where one interviewer interviewing one candidate in person. Second is interview with two or more people. Candidate were interviewed by a panel of people. Third, video interview using a software such as Skype, Zoom, and others by making a video call. And lastly, telephone interview by using a telephone to save a cost and without most candidate and decide the best among them. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nazhirah Zaidi. For my part, I will present two subtopic, which are the dress code and the job description. For the dress code during the interview, um, um, I will explain how you dress and how your appearance give effect to your interview. Okay. As we know, as soon as we enter the interview room, the first thing the interviewers will examine is the way we dress, because our appearance will show how seriousness we are towards the job. What will happen if we only dress like you want to go to the mall or you want to go eat at the restaurant? Do you think that you will get accepted? In order to be a smart and simple in dress code, you don't need to have wearing an expensive clothes. Just you wear the clothes ethically that I will mention after this. Okay. We will go to the men first. For the men, they are prefer to wear a suit. The acceptable color for suit are black, navy, and gray. For the shirt must be a solid color without any stripe or texture. The acceptable color are white, cream, baby blue, or gray. Don't wear the sweat or the shirt that bright color. Okay, for the tie must match with the sweat. For the belt must match with the shoes and sock. For the shoe must look shiny and you need to polish on them. The acceptable color for shoes are black, brown, or burgundy. Okay, for the accessories, only wearing 2 or 3 pieces accessories are acceptable, like wedding band or a simple watch. For the perfume and hygiene, don't wear too much perfume or aftershaves. Wear a little are preferable. Okay, for the women, women has 2 choices. Either you want to wear baju kon suite or skirt or pant suites. Okay, for the baju kon suites, the baju kon that you need to take serious on is the baju kon must be made from the stripe or plain or texture design, not the animal or oversized patterns. Okay, baju ko must have the sweetie fabric that they can give you the neat and solid look. And don't wear baju kon that too tight that can show your body shape like jersey or denim. And don't wear baju kon that are too shiny. Okay, for the skirt or pant suites, the acceptable suites color are light band, which are black, gray, or brown. The blouse must not be fashionable or too fancy. The color of the blouse must be solid, like cream or white. For the skirts or pants, the skirt or pants colors must be matched with the suit. Okay, for the shoes or high heels, they must wear the shoe palms. They must wear the shoe the closed toe pumps with heels that minimum heels is 1.5 inch and maximum is 2.5 inch. Okay, for the accessories like men, only 2 or 3 acceptable, like a wedding band or a watch. For the accessories, if you already bring the briefcase, don't wear a purse, and briefcase you must put beside your chair. For the makeup, don't wear too much makeup because it will give you the unprofessional look. Just wear a makeup just to show that you are ready for the interview. For the perfume, a little is preferable. Don't wear too much perfume that can make your perfume overpower your environment. Okay, for the second part is the job description. What is the job description? The job description is a document that are very important, stated in the job advertisement. It provides the job seeker about what the task that they will carry on. For the new graduate, the job description is important for them because they can find any job that can related to their skills and knowledge. For example, if we are from engineering course, we need to find job description that has related with the engineering, not with the medical. what will happen if the job advertisement did not have the job description. The job seeker did not know what the job what kind of task that they will do. Okay. um Job description is not a list of tasks someone does, but it is a list of the skill, knowledge, experience, training, and character skill required for the job. And the job description is also is also for the purpose of hiring, waging hiring wage corporations and firing. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazhirah. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amirah Baharum, and right now I want to explain about the things to research before any job interview. In making a job application, it is important that you review the background of the company first before applying and before the interview. For example, like whether the organization and the company culture are in good fit for you. But during the interview, it is not the time to learn basic information about the company. You should know all that before you set foot in there. So here are tips for researching companies before the interview. Number one, research the company websites. Go to their website and find out what products or service they provide, or what do they sell and how do they make money. Why might their customer or clients choose them? You should learn anything you can about the company culture too. Um, you can click the button about us or meet our team when you are on the company websites. Then visit their career section. Make sure you are familiar with the job description and take a look at the other jobs they are hiring for. Number two, you need to go for their social media accounts. Check out the company's social media profiles such as LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram to see recent news you might have missed on Google News. That might you see pictures of employee outings too, and etc. You will get a great sense of the company culture and the type of people who work there. And number three, research employees on LinkedIn. Search on LinkedIn to find employees of the company. LinkedIn is not just a great job search resource, it is also a powerful research tool. Better yet, find people in the same type of group or role that you are interviewing for. For example, what type of background do they have, and that is, and you might spot a trend for the type of person a company likes to hire. Number four, get to know the industry and competitors. As well as researching the company, it makes sense to review the overall industry. If you are interviewing for a job at a mortgage company, for instance, it is helpful to be informed about current home ownership trend. So get to know the company's biggest competitors and identify their successes and flaws too. Insight into the company's industry and rivals are bound to impress interviewers. And lastly, the person interviewing you or the interviewer. This is a great way to prepare to pass your interview. You might see something you have in common with them. And if not, you will still know more about them than most candidates going in for the interview. So it will be easier to bond and build the rapport between you and the company. Okay, that's all for me. I will pass the next presentation to the next presenter, which is Yusupha. Thank you.
My name is Yusupha Darboe. My path that I want to present today is the example of the interview questions, some of the interview questions. So among the interview questions, number one, they will ask you about tell us about yourself. So telling us about yourself is the most common question that they normally ask the interviewer. Interviewer asks the interview about this question. And this example, this question is very common question, but it's difficult to answer because they want to know about how you start your background of your career or your current career that you are working for to achieve your goals. And by sharing that one, you should look to the next career what and why you are searching for a job hunter. And number two, the among the questions that they normally ask, why should I hire you? So one, focus on your key selling point and how they related the organization and indeed. Example of the answering that one. I need a job description you are looking for and some of the experience you have done in your past job place. Maybe you have working for the 3 years, so you get some experience there. So that one can immediately help you to accomplish the new job. Number three, tell us about the challenging you have faced and how you handle it. The challenges you are facing your last job and how you handle that challenge. The interviewer not just they don't just ask you to find out, they don't want to not to find out your weaknesses, why they disqualified you from your past job, but they are more interested to find out whether you are self-awareness and willing openly to discuss your shortcomings. So when you are doing interview, they are interested about your shortcomings, but not why they disqualified you from other job. And they want to hear you more, your commitment and how you continue to improve your skills. For an example of that, I am my last job. I was feeling thought dealing with my bosses for that day. When we are doing the project work with my team, I was very successfully man to do that one. So each and everyone was interested about my job. I was organizing my own personal tasks to do that job frequently, and that made me successful to deliver my job at work time. So I want to learn more project, offer more project after that, and I can be learned to be a better project manager as well. The fifth one, why do you want to know about the fourth one, why do you want to know about the company? If you want to know the company, to answer that question is help you to need to do researching about the company background before you go to the interview place and how the company used to learn, how the company used to sell their product to their customers. You should know all these things because they may ask you about those questions. So if you are unable to answer those questions, you may not likely to have job on that company. So number five, what is your greatest weaknesses? Your weaknesses, your greatest weaknesses. And this particular one, you should not mention your great weakness, your great weaknesses. And sometimes it is not necessary to mention your great weakness, but what you are, example, what you have to say, in a particular, you are not strong enough in Microsoft Excel. That may be your weakness of working there. But your weakness is working on your team or following direction. When you are working with the team or following direction, that will help me. That will help you to real weaknesses. But you can never mention your real weaknesses to them to overcome your weaknesses or to improve your recent skills. Example, I'm not a particular strong in a social media marketing. That is still what I specialize in, and which is that I apply for the email marketing manager job. What I have also helped to learn, that helped me to learn the principle of the social media marketing, because I want to have more strategy to do that work effectively. So number 6, why do you why do you leave your last job? This question is among the common questions which they normally ask you. So avoiding speaking to the negative thing about your previous work, workers or company. When you are doing this thing, you should not speak about what happened to your previous job. What is the negative effect, or what is the negative habit you did, why they sacked you or why they left that job. Example, I hear of a project manager to role, but over the time that I checked, I was no longer been given the opportunity to doing such things that I was interested in. So I left for the purpose of that. Why? Because example of that, they give you they give you the job or the path that you are not interested. Maybe you are not learn that path. Example, when you are an accountant, so you went the job in the job interview, so they want to give you the marketing place, which is not your card, which is not your area. You may honestly to tell them that you see this area is not my area. I cannot do it well. So if you can help me to do my accounting area, I will prefer that rather than be a marketing manager. So such a thing you should tell them. When you agree with them, yes, you can continue. If you don't agree, you may tell them, you see now I can leave your job here, allow me to go and do another, because that one is not my career. I don't study that area. So if you give me this kind of job, I will not going to deliver well. Example of that, I was here for a project manager role, but over the time I changed. I was no longer being given the opportunity to do that I was interested in. I left for the purpose on the opportunity that I felt I will do more aligned what I was choosing to focus on my career. Maybe your career is a accounting area, but your career is not a job marketer. So if you want to do the job marketer, you are not studying that, you don't have any qualification or you don't have any experience, you cannot deliver well. So you should tell your interviewer straight to the point. I'm not good in this area, but if you give me this area, I will perform well. Thank you. This is what I have.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Najihah, and I will present about the create an effective resume. So the first one we have to know about what is resume. Resume is one type of document to promote the candidate's ability, skill, past experience, accomplishments to a potential employer, and it is a tools that help the candidates to make up a successful job search. Okay, next we go to the basic guideline for creating resume. So the first one, we have to consider the length of the resume. Resume should not more than one page, especially when you are a fresh graduate. And the second one is eliminate error. You have to eliminate typographical error, grammar, and avoid person pronouns such as I, me, or we, because our resume represent who we are, and if we tend to make a mistake, so it will change the perception of the employer toward us. Okay, and next one, write the resume by yourself. Be honest when you describe yourself in the resume. You also can use idea or phrase to simplify your content. Next is the format resume. So the candidate can use basic fonts such as Arial, Verdana, Calibri, and Times New Roman because it's easy to read and also it works well. And you also can start the resume with one question because according to Job Street Malaysia in 2018, it described that our resume needs to answer why are you the best person for the job. So it helps you to write your skill and qualification. to do a good job in creating resume. Okay, next we go to the component of the resume. There are 7 component of resume that I highlight in this part. First one is personal information. You can insert your name, your current address, phone number and email address. But make sure your phone number is easy for the interviewer to reach you, and also use a formal email address. Second one is job objective. Job objective is an important part because it helps the candidates to focus in their resume. So it also must be fit with the job descriptions, and because sometimes the employer wants to know if our objective or goal is something that can achieve together with them. So the next is education. Education is also a main part in the resume. You can list your education start from high school until your current education. First, you state your current degree or any education, and followed by previous education. So you also can add your GPA. But if you have a low GPA, it's more advised to you to not put in the education part because it can give a section uh, to the employer. And if you don't put your GPA, so the employer will not focus on the education but also consider other part which are the skill and also the experience. Okay, next is experience. You can insert your internship work or volunteer work, your previous work, and you can start your recent position of work at the top and follow by your previous work. So you also can use an action word such as initiate, achieve. So it helps you to describe your skill in the position. Okay, next is extracurricular activity. Okay, extracurricular activity is important because we want to show our leadership skill in when we participate on the extracurricular activity. So when you have a different and participation in activities, it can show that you have a very skill, a very soft skill, and also technical skill. And next is skills such as language skill, computer skill, technical skill, and also special training to add to your qualification. So use a level such as intermediate, beginning, intermediate, and also expert to easier the it's able to know the level of your uh, to know your level in certain skill. And the last is the reference. You can provide your reference information such as name, email, and phone number. But make sure you inform first to the person who wants to be your reference. So he they will not shock when the employer call them. So that's all for me. So this is an example of resume. And as a conclusion, we need to analyze about all the certain aspects in the interview. Besides that, we also need to know the main question that we ask in order to prepare well in the interview and have a successful be a successful job seekers. That's all from our group.